Now we would like to turn over the floor to our resource speaker, Sir Joseph Inosante, for discussion proper. Sir Joseph Inosante.
Yes, good morning, Scouts. And I am very honored and proud to say for this invitation about your scouting webinar. In fact, this is my first time to attend a webinar like this, and I'm very, very happy and honored that part of this webinar. So my just simply, just to let you know that we have a lot of scouts on the front lines that are doing their best and they're taking part of the community in fights against this COVID or this pandemic. And I would like to flex out some of them and just to share what we have been doing as volunteers and scouts. And for the past few months, this is our 5th month of operation, and we've seen a lot, we learned a lot, and I'm very, very pleased to tell you that we have, contributed well. So again, we will be discussing about scouts on the front lines. So I'm based in Cebu, Philippines, and we all know that we are badly hit here in Cebu. So we scouts are taking part on how we could help the government and the community in fight against this pandemic. Next slide, please. So I would like to thank for the invitation again for Ateneo, the Cebu Scouting Unit, and also Cebu Council. I would like to credit and commend Ken, Christina, and the rest of the organizing body for this invitation and this wonderful webinar that will provide additional information to the teachers, students, and also to our scouting unit. Next slide, please. Now, our mission is very straightforward, and I would like to repeat itself about what's really our purpose, why we're doing this. First of all, we would like to assist the community in the fight against COVID-19 in accordance to the standard safety procedures and coordination with the local government units as a non-partisan organization. Basecamp ERT is an NGO, same with Revo and other groups that are privately running in this fight against COVID-19. Next slide, please. Now, I just want to introduce myself properly. So I hope I earned the pedestal to be here as one of your resource speaker. My name is Scout Joseph Luis Inosante. I'm the Basecamp ERT co-founder and chairman of the board for this NGO. I'm a proud product of ANS BSP, batch 1999. And Barry is one of our junior officers before. And I'm very honored for this invitation because we would like to show the rest of the country that the scouting unit in our school is really, really functioning accordingly. And I'm also the appointed Red Box Security Philippine coordinator. It's based in France. What I do is we coordinate with the European Rescue Organization based in France and in UK. And currently I'm a freelance photojournalist, which I've been starting taking photos as early 2000. And I've been appointed also by St. John Ambulance Australia, Northern Territory as coordinator, which is one of our largest donor right now in BCERT. I'm also proud to say that I also graduated in ROTC as Philippine Army Reservist. I just activated my enlistment last year. And currently we have a memorandum agreement with Cebu Normal University as ERT consultant. And currently we are the training partner of Abiliana National School, Emergency Service Corps training partner. And we are supporting the scouting unit of Abiliana in the formation and reactivation of their Emergency Services Corps. Next slide, please. Now, a lot of you are asking, I would like to go back on the first day. Barry stated also from Abiliana about the limitations. Now, we've been doing voluntary works for the past years, and operations protocol is very important. It was also stated by Renzo and also by Francis Borromeo that even as we are volunteers, we do have set of rules that we need to follow for safety purposes. First of all, we need to ask permission from the ops and command. before we conduct a specific field run or activity involving this COVID crisis. Second, we need to track off the routes and have trip tickets before we go on a field run or get a patient. And it's not mandatory and it's purely voluntary. We are not pressuring our scouts and volunteers, especially the junior responders, to participate in this specific operation because it's really risky. And the difference with us, with other organizations, like majority of our junior responders are scouts. That's one of it. I'm so proud to state that majority of our junior responders are from the scouting, Boy Scouts, Rover Scouts, and Girl Scouts. And most of them are from Abiliana National High School. So we don't have any minors on the team because that's one of the things that we're considering legally. And above 18, most of our volunteers are above 18, and it has a full consent with their parents. We also lay out details and planning before we proceed because we want to avoid any false judgment on the operations that could harm the team or the crew. We follow check-in procedure as a sign of respect to the local government unit. We did submit a letter to Cebu City, which is the mayor's office, and to some barangays that we are assisting right now. And we also use the designated supplies and equipment. So it means we have a specific set of supplies and tools just for this COVID operation, which is also operated by the scouts. And we do follow PPE very strictly because this is the only line of defense we have right now for this unseen enemy. We have limited field exposure. I just want to highlight this one because we do not allow to be on the field for almost all day. It's very risky. So we have skeletal schedule. We have a maximum of 6 to 8 hours only on the field. So that's the only thing we can do. And we need to go back to the base, onto our home, and take a rest. The contamination procedure is strictly followed. We have some resources from other countries that giving us some advice on how to decontaminate our tools, ourselves, donning and doffing. We need to follow that one strictly for safety. And lastly, for those who are on the field as volunteers, we do conduct self-quarantine if we find any volunteer or from the scouts that has COVID. So automatically, we are no longer allowing them to join the operation and have a self-check and issue a certificate. Like we have one scout was sick, we need to ask a lot of questions and also take a test and also a certificate before he can join or rejoin the operation. Next slide, please. Now, our challenges for the teachers out there and outfit advisors and to the scouts that are on the front lines, we all know the problem here. First is the risk of operation. It's very, very risky because we don't really know what will happen. It's an unseen enemy. No, it's not the same with trauma cases. It's not the same with other medical cases. It's really hard to define if you're safe or unsafe. Second is community quarantine. We know that a lot of people are violating the mandated quarantine by the local government unit. And sometimes safety is a concern because every time you go to areas, they, as what Francis said, like some people just care what to put food, the food on their table. It's frustrating, heartbreaking, but it's reality. Third is the boundary restriction. So it doesn't mean you are a responder or you are a frontliner. You have multiple access. I just want to clear this one out because there are some people misinterpret this way. It doesn't mean you are a first responder or a frontliner. You have access, all the checklists. No, that's wrong. We need to follow and respect the limitations, especially the people on the border patrol or the checkpoints like Philippine Army and Philippine National Police. We all know on the news, on the Facebook or social media that there are some people, abusing this kind of access, like fake ID or putting logo on their vehicle, even they're not frontliners or essentials. So we still need to follow that one, and that's one also of our challenges. Manpower, there are very few in the field right now. We are just 11 on COVID operation as agreed by the team and the board. I'm not so sure with the other organizations how many volunteers they have, but I can assure you that most of our volunteers are above the training standard, and we carefully selected them to join this operation. And we also have operational limitations. So the scouts and the research responders, we have limitations. One is our health. We need to be very careful with our health because we don't really know, we might be carrying the virus. We need to follow strictly what's been agreed. If we say point A to point B, that's all. No side trips. That's the thing that I'm highlighting to the team. And lastly, resources and funding. We are not like with other organizations that have a lot of resources and they have all the funds they need. Our operational funding is very, very, very limited. We don't have that much, but we are doing our best to serve and give back and do the things that properly and everything that we should be doing as frontliners. And I would like to credit the scouts also, especially from Abiliana, which most of them, even their own personal expense like food, they're been spending and sharing it to the team. And I'm really, really thankful I have this kind of volunteers that are not self-centered and they are willing to sacrifice for the welfare of our community. Next slide, please. Now, first of all, as a scout, teachers, parents, and professionals or students, stay at home. Please follow government mandated home quarantine and let the frontliners do their job so they can go home too. They want to go home too because some of them miss their family for months. Some of them voluntarily joined the front lines so they can help. And a lot of them are parents also, and they miss their kids or their brother, their sister, their relatives. I know a lot that are already in depressed right now because they miss their kids so much. On my end, I have two daughters. I let them, see what I'm doing and explain to them why I need to do this. And for the scouts that we have right now, I let them, give a chance to explain to their parents why we need to do this, why we need to take part. If their parents will not agree to join, we will respect it with all good faith. Next slide, please. Now, these are the scouts that has been joining us as we fight COVID-19 together. And this is their typical uniform when they were scouts. I'm so proud, and I don't know what to say, but I've seen them grow and mature and learn a lot of things as they join BSERT and other response team in Cebu. So this is just a good image just to showcase, even you're a scout, you can do things in life that could change the perspective in life also. This is something that we should be proud of. And I'll be showing you who are the scouts. And again, I would like to highlight the scouts, not my organization, not myself. I would like to highlight these people that has been risking their lives just to help this pandemic. Next slide, please. First, I would like to credit and commend John Mark Katampo, which is an Eagle Scout from ANS BSP, also a member of ANS ESC. And currently, he is a member of the Philippine Air Force Reservists. He's also part of the Sambag DOS or Sambag 2 ERT volunteers. John Mark is one of our strike team, as what Barry said from Abiliana. They've been actively participating in the fight against COVID, but sad to say, the father of John Mark just died a couple of weeks ago. I asked him if you can still join the front lines, and he said yes. Even he lost his father, he's still going back to the front lines to serve, to continue what his father taught him. Next slide, please. Now, we also have Scout Marvy Berizo, which is a member of ANS BSB and also Rover Scout. And currently, he's a cadet trainee for the ROTC in Philippine Army in CTU. So this is one of our most trusted volunteer and actively participating all the trainings, all the sessions that we have. And this guy already spent about 300 hours in field duty. And I'm so proud of this guys because in spite of lack of resources, he's still joining the operations just to help. And he's a very quiet guy, very shy, but we try to tell him that as a scout, you need to build confidence and do your part as a good citizen. Next slide, the next slide, please. And also Eagle Scout Christopher James Adorna, ANS BSP and member of ANS ESC. Currently, he's a student soon in Cebu Normal University, and I'm so proud of this guys because he's one of the first few volunteers that joined the the operations against pandemic. As a Boy Scout, this guy has potential and leadership. This guy has a lot of things that he could share in the near future as a citizen, as a student also. And Tupe, or we call him Tupe, which is a nickname. I would like to credit him. Even he's doing something else right now, no longer with VCERT because of some decisions we need to make. We would like to credit him for his contribution for the past few months. Next slide, please. We also have Scout Shelby Gwen Biduya, one of the Girl Scouts that is on the front lines right now. And I'm really proud of this girl because even though, they have some miscommunication about his father, her father about the COVID, but she was able to manage it. She's one of our reserves in the front lines and taking part in our night operations, taking part in our relief runs. Shelby right now is on standby, and we are still waiting for any signal for her to come back on the front lines. Next slide, please. And also Scout Metsi Ella Signar from Abiliana National High School Girl Scouts of the Philippines. This girl is really a part of the VCERT admin team. He's been silently working with us and also came from a family which are mostly government employees. Her mother and father are also frontliners, so they really understand the risks and the needs in serving in the front line. So Metsi is one of our female frontlines and junior responders, and we can really rely on her if we need her to help us in the fight against COVID. Next slide, please. And we also have a set of scouts or a team that's managing the infotech. So the previous speaker, Francis, showed a lot of things like what they can do even there in their homes. So we have a assigned set of people that could help on the dissemination of information, by giving them reliable sources of information. So our job here, or their job, is to give public awareness on COVID information from different resources, posted dozen infotech, including a slideshow dedicated for the front lines. Next slide, please. We have here Scout Winslet Palang from Abiliana National High School Girl Scout of Philippines. She was the previous former chairman of your scouting unit in Abiliana. And she is also the volunteer of the year or junior volunteer of the year last year. So, I'm really proud of this girl because she's been working silently in the backlines, updating the numbers, infotech, which is very useful right now. So I would like to commend her family for trusting her in joining the front lines or joining the fight against COVID. Next slide, please. We also have Scout Roxanne Bisco, which is a product of Robo Scouting, Abiliana. So Roxanne is one of our frontliners and also assisting us in the fight against COVID. Good job, Roxanne, for helping us update the page and some updates on we need to have on our Facebook page and group page and our chat rooms about this pandemic. Next slide, please. We also have Shailene Garciano, which is also a part of Rover Scout. This girl is one of the Rover Scout who also assisted us in our operations before in Naga landslide. And currently, she is part of the junior responders and also one of the pioneers in the BCERT, younger responders, which is the Alpha team. Next slide, please. And also, we have Scouts as logistics supplies unit. Now, these guys are very important on us. Without them, I don't know. Like, we need this kind of Scouts that are really, really particular with supplies, taking care of the equipment, cleaning the equipment, because in scouting, logistics team is really vital. We all know that. Those Scoutmaster, outfit advisor, if they have jamboree or any camping, logistics, transportation, preparation, they need those. So these scouts are very, very important. These people are, I can say, without them, I don't know, it's really hard to operate. So we have Scout Wilmore Paimon from ANS VSC. We also have Scout Arthiel Atiliano, which is from Outfit 520, which is in Pitos. So this is one of our scouts that are not part of, Abiliana National High School. This is one of the few different scouts we have, and they have potential. And he's looking to be a nurse soon, and hopefully his dreams will be fulfilled. And also, I'm so proud to say that we have Eagle Scout Lloyd Vincent Durasin, a proud product of Abiliana National High School Scouting Unit, and Barry and also Lloyd are very close. And he's one of our medical officers. He's a licensed nurse and also a clinical instructor in Cebu Normal University. Next slide, please. Now, here are some of the barangays that we've been assisting for the last few months. BCERT and together with the Scouts, we've been doing a lot of operations just to make sure that we give faith and hope to those people who are greatly affected. So we conduct relief operations, patient transport for non-COVID patients, just to be clear on that one. We also do decontamination or spraying of Lysol in the houses. We also do house runs. So Talamban is one of our AUR and one of the area that we closely monitoring. Next slide, please. And the next barangay we have right now is Sambagdos, which is also badly hit by COVID. So in Sambagdos, we conduct community monitoring, border patrol, and the team leaders is from BCERT and also Eagle Scout John Mortocampo. Their job is very crucial because that area has multiple access and a very huge population, so it's quite big. So John Mark is also part of their barangay ERT, which is, I can say, it's quite hard also that you are serving, in a risky way, because when the COVID crisis, their barangay volunteers are the first responders, and we initiated to support them. Since that we know some responders in barangay Sambagdos, and we really credit them for their hard work. And John Mark is one of our key contacts in that area. Next slide, please. Kamputa, which is one of the badly hit here in Cebu with a lot of cases. So we conducted community monitoring, decon operations. We also donated PPE to the city frontlines because we have observed most of them don't have gloves, don't have face shields, don't have masks. So we initiated by sharing our resources to them. And also, we've been coordinating with the barangay hall. If we notice some discrepancy, like people violating the home quarantine or the ECQ, we report it to the barangay and document it. So we also conduct relief operations to some selected families in the barangay Campotao. Next slide, please. And also one of the uh, areas that we are assisting right now, with which we just came there yesterday, is Cogon Pardo. I can say it's really hard there. You see people that are struggling just to make a living, find food on their just to be put on their plate. Finding ways, I can say finding ways is a struggle. And I know that our local government unit and our national government are doing their best, just to help those who are greatly affected. And that's where we came in. We identify families that needs help. As long as we can help and we are capable of, we have collaborated with some social workers that could identify some families that badly need help. So we were able to identify a few of them in Google Park, including PWD and senior citizens. So we provide relief operations, house rent, or check up on their, just taking vital signs and trying to refer them to a doctor for future checkup after the quarantine. And also community monitoring. If we notice some violations, we just document and ask the barangay what can be done. And also medical assistance. We try to gather funds for some senior citizens that has some health issues. So Cogon Pardo is one of our priority right now, together with the scouts. John Mark Tatamco, Marvy Buizo is with us yesterday, and they saw what's the problem. It's quite heartbreaking because you see people that telling you we don't have any food, we don't have anything right now, we don't have any income. So I don't know. We are just doing our best, what we can do, what we can give, and hope until everything is over. Next slide, please. Barrio Luz. So this is one of the first barangays that we responded, and we've been receiving calls, text messages every day saying this, we need this, we're requesting this, about this, and we need help. What we do is respond lightly and with the coordination with some residents and LGU. We provided community monitoring because we have a lot of friends there that are infected by the virus, highly in a high risk, like some of them cannot just go out easily, and providing them relief operations like teachers also from Department of Education Cebu City Division, which we responded in providing them assistance by helping them purchase their food, so which is really really hard on that time because it was the center of attention in the Philippines, also in the media. Barrio Luz was greatly affected. Next slide, please. Now, this is what we have been doing for the past months. This is not yet updated because we keep tracking every day. And together with the scouts, this is our operation summary that I'm very, very proud to say. Even we are just a very small unit, we have limited resources, but we're able to do this. So we have assisted 52 households on relief operation with an average of 3 waves of support. It means we gave them above the typical relief goods that usually received by some families. We give them two to three times, and providing them above what they need. Like for example, we have a family that needs fruits, vegetables, not just canned goods, not just noodles. We give them, and also medical assistance and PPE, which is quite costly right now. We also assisted some patients for transport and medical health. So again, these are non-COVID patients because one of our protocols here in research, we avoid responding this because we only have a specific agency like the Cebu City EMS to respond on those kind of cases. So we avoid them. We don't want to have any issues with that one, and also for safety purposes of the first responders and the frontliners. Next slide, please. So we also assisted 5 barangays under Cebu City, which is our AOR or Community Monitoring Project. We spent more than 500 hours on field duty for the past months, and the scouts alone, they really spend a huge time in the field, like border patrol, relief runs, even patient transport. They've been doing that heartily, and for no, in spite of having this crisis, instead of staying at home, they want to help. And I clearly asked them, "Are you sure about this one, guys? Because this is really high risk." And they said, "Well, you are scouts, so I will not say that I should stop you." Next is we have participated in the Decon operation of spraying by Lysol. We use Lysol only because we find it much more effective. It's a little bit costly, but it's effective. So about 120 houses already. So it's running about 150 right now. We also assisted on border patrol in several barangays, including Sambagdos and also in Campo Tao. Next slide, please. Now, here's the big question, guys. So the previous speaker, like from Barry, Dolioso of Abiliana, and also Francis Borromeo in Revo, even we are just scouts, because I've been hearing this kind of comment. No, you're just a scout. What can you do? Now, I would like to highlight this one. These guys are a proof that they can contribute in this pandemic. But you don't need to be on the front lines. You can do a lot of things, is what it said. First, you need to be informed. You need to be educated what's happening around by getting factual information, not by emotions. You need to be informed in a way that you could be ready. Whatever happens, and it could just come to worse, you're ready. Share information that are reliable and truthful. So that is very important. Do not just waste your time in other, I can say like politics, which is one we are trying to avoid. So focus on the existing crisis, and once we recovered, you can share what you have done right now. Second, be healthy, scouts, because health is wealth. That's what they said. We need to protect ourselves. If your parents will tell you don't go out, don't go out. Simple as that. Eat healthy foods. Your mental wellness should be also prioritized. So as what they said, you need to protect yourself. I know it's quite depressing because most of you are young students. You used to have like go with the malls, join with your friends. I know you miss those guys. Even me, I miss it. But since that we're trying to face new normal right now, we need to adjust. So be healthy and take care of yourself, scouts. If you want to serve more in the coming years or after we go back and try to recover what's been lost, continue learning. Please do not forget, scouts, that we are still students. I myself, I'm still a student. Do not forget you have school, homework. Do not forget you have this online classes. Do not forget that you need to catch up your grades. And do not forget you are still a student, which is really, really important. As what Francis said, take these voluntary actions. It's just like, your passion, your hobby. Do not forget you are still a student. Do not forget you need to balance life. You need to balance everything. Let me just focus on volunteerism. I myself, I'm a private employee. I'm not paid to do this. And also, I don't work for any government offices. I consider volunteerism as my sub-profession. However, we need to manage life in order to be a good example to others. Be optimistic. Don't be a pessimist. Like, scouts, always remember, after the storm, there's always, a rainbow. Make sure that once you get out on the home quarantine and go back to schools, to your respective organizations, be optimistic that we could be going back on the normal life we have. And as a scout, we should be the one encouraging. There are too many criticizers in the world, so at least we need some encouragers. Scouting is one of my motivation before. I don't know if I'm not a scout before. Maybe I will not be a volunteer. Maybe there's no B-cert right now. Maybe I'm not doing what I'm doing right now, or maybe I'm doing other things. But in scouting, I learned a lot of things. One is being optimistic. That's why discipline is very, very important. Please respect your leaders, especially scoutmasters, your outfit advisors, and the people that are trying to mentor you. Serve the community, as what Francis said, give back. Serve the community. You can still help. For example, you don't need to go outside, like go to some barangays, provide relief. Because if you see a neighbor, or if you know a friend that needs some food or medical assistance, you can, share the resources what you have. You can donate. You can provide some canned goods or relief supplies or PPE, like what other groups are doing. They provide PPE. They manufacture their own PPE. That's the best thing you can serve at the community. And lastly, respect the government mandate. That's all. Short and simple. We don't need to argue about ideology, who's right, who's wrong. Just respect and let's work together. Lastly, guys, don't forget there's always someone above and have faith. I know that we may have different religions, different beliefs, but always have faith because I know one of these days this will be over. So scouts, always think about this one. We might not be in the field that we are the decision makers because the decision makers in this pandemic are the government, the ones who are in the task force. It doesn't mean that we don't have any right or we cannot say anything. We can still say something. However, do it in a way that you are a solution, not a problem. Give back, help, and be an example. Even your Facebook, try to manage it properly, share good information, encourage other kids or other students to join scouting. Maybe after this pandemic, maybe a lot of people will join the scouting because some parents saw the importance of having this kind of organization. Again, Scouts, we are a global citizen. We are a very big organization. We are not just locally based. We have a very big role in this world. So again, have faith, and we would like to see one of these days that, we will be recovering from this pandemic. Next slide, please. Now we have this acronym or infotech that we made about, to fight COVID. We call it BCERT. First, Scouts, boost your immune system. Clean your hands often. Wash your hands. Most of the time, I see some people don't even wash their hands. I don't know why. For them, alcohol is not enough. Much better if you wash your hand and alcohol. Also, exercise, social distancing, which is we've seen in the field and in the front lines, a lot are violating it. So please, even we will be on GCQ, still practice social distancing. Regular, clean, frequently, untouched, serve. To make it short, be clean. Always wipe areas like doorknobs, tables, your cell phones, clean it always. So to avoid infection. Talk to your doctor if you have some symptoms that you feel. Don't be paranoid. There's a difference between being paranoid and being prepared. So just be honest, because some people are in denial. Like they feel that I'm okay, yeah, but they don't know they already have the virus, especially asymptomatic people. Like we don't really know if they're okay. Some of them already have the virus. I know a lot, walking around, but they have the virus already. So that's really, really alarming. Again, if you find out that there's something wrong, please talk to the doctor and look for medical assistance. Next slide, please. I would like to take this opportunity that please help us. If you want to support our unit, you can email us, and we are looking forward to support the Scouts in the front lines. And we have this number. You can also visit our website at www.research.org.ph. We are also registered in Google. And as a nonpartisan organization, we are looking forward for more support. I know there's a lot of organizations doing fundraising, and we are working closely with some groups and also the local government unit. And we would like to take our part in our own simple and humble ways. And if you want to know more, you can visit our website and also our page. Next slide, please. We serve, that's our line. Scouts serving humanity, community, and our country. This is the perfect moment, Scouts, that we need to deliver, do our part. Because without volunteers like us, without people like us, who will do it? Now, again, we need to serve the country. We need to give back the community and do our oath, our duty as a scout. Not just because we are forced, it's for compliance, because your teacher or your outfit advisor or your scoutmaster tell you so. Just do your part at your own humble ways. So together with Abeliana National School and the Rover Scouts and the ESC, we also assisted other schools like Tap Tap and APAS Rover Scouts, which we will be helping them soon after this long-term quarantine. We will be assisting them with information training so we can serve together and not compete each other. So as what the previous speaker said, being a youth responder takes a lot of responsibility also. So it doesn't mean that you're just a volunteer, you don't need to follow rules. Fuel your ego is not needed. If that is your purpose, this is not the right place for you because we are here to sacrifice, train a lot, invest our time a lot, and all the heartaches, all the frustration is there. Even me, in my personal experience in managing the team, it's really normal. You will lose and earn friends. Some of your classmates will bully you, will mock you. That what do you get from scouting? I myself, my parents did not support me at first. So again, do not stop there. Serve, because scouts will be future leaders, and we're looking forward for that one of these days. Next slide, please. Volunteers. I just want to leave this quote. Volunteers are the only human beings on the face of the earth who reflect this nation's compassion, unselfish caring, patience, and just plain loving one another's. From Irma Bubber. So again, Scouts, we are volunteers. We do this with all good faith, heartily, and we want to give back, serve. So I hope that one of these days you decided to be a volunteer for any organization, for any institution that you want to join and give back as a Boy Scout, as a Girl Scout, as a Rubber Scout, or like some of the Scouts we have before. I'm so proud, like Mark Will, which is also the Scoutmaster right now in Ateneo de Cebu, and also our junior responder right now, which is Barry Dolioso, which is a Scoutmaster right now. So seeing them grow, like, I don't know, it's just this mixed emotion. I'm very proud to say that they really choose the right way, and they choose it so well in serving their school, giving back to the scouting, which molded them on who they are right now. Next slide, please. Again, as what we said, laging handa or be ready. A scout is never taken by surprise. He knows exactly what to do when anything unexpected happens. From Lord Robert Baden-Powell. We all know him, how important Lord Baden-Powell in the scouting community. So be ready, Scouts, because according to WHO, there'll be more pandemics might come. Maybe a decade from now, a few years from now, we don't really know. Just be ready, Scouts. Use this COVID crisis as a learning point. This will be your basis as you grow old, and maybe one of these days you decide to be a first responder. One of these days you want to join the front lines, join the armed forces of the Philippines, the Bureau of Fire Protection, join other laws and missions around the globe, because we are the hope, guys. I just observed lately that most of our volunteers are very successful and active are from the scouting because they already have these characters. First is the discipline. They have the obedience. They have the soft skills already. They have this set of attitude that they follow orders. They have this kind of humility, which is really needed. If you want to be part of the front lines, if you are a boss, it's hard for you. You need to follow orders, you need to respect the protocols, the procedures, you need to respect the government, and also you need to respect who is the one trying to be with you, risk their lives, and we can count each other as a response team. Again, Scouts, be ready because we don't really know what will happen next in the coming days. Like the other day, we have an earthquake. Maybe next week, we don't know. Disasters is countless. That's why I really encourage the Scoutmasters, outfit advisors, and the students to invest heavily on the scouting, on skills, on equipment also, as what one of the speakers on the first day on the ESC formation and the history, it's really, really impressive that it all started from the idea of responding on disaster. So again, we are opening our doors, especially in our area, Cebu, Philippines, or Cebu City. We are willing to help those schools that might need our help, and we are opening our hands. If you need us, just tell us. Currently, we are finishing some modules together with our team outside the country for disaster preparedness. And we are not an ambulance team, just to let you know, guys. We are just a light response unit. We've been supported by some good people around the globe. And currently, we have very few volunteers. So again, we are open for any questions. If you want to know more about our team, about forming your own ESC in your school, you can ask your council, you can ask the scouts or anyone like Barry, like Mark Will, and the Cebu Council or anyone in the National Council, you can ask them. And before we end, I would like to show these videos dedicated for the scouts. So I would like to request the tech team to play the video and before we end this day. And again, if you have questions, let me know.
I am Rover Scout Hesta Kevin Ryan. It was an honor to be one of the members of Emergency Service Corps, Abiliana National School chapter, because it gave us opportunity to serve the community and school. It was able to build up knowledge and skills about emergency servicing. ESC gives us idea to get through being a first aider nor a responder. I joined ESC because I want to give myself the knowledge in being a responder. It influenced me by serving and help the people with all my ability. It benefits me by improving my skills and learnings to be an emergency responder and use in my daily lives. It also includes my happiness and who I am and being responsible to my emergency service. Now, with my fellow Rover Scout mates, we joined Fire Volunteer and Emergency Medical Services, Barangay Apas, Cebu City. We joined because it helps us to gain more knowledge and additional learnings as a fire volunteer. We need to build a confidence and strong body to be in a fire scene. We must have proper training and struggles before we enter the fire scene. Second, as an emergency medical service personnel or ambulance crew, it is a privilege to help and serve the patient in need of medication. It is an honor to be an emergency service corps and emergency responder. Emergency Service Corps has become one of the reasons why I was able to do other things, such as being one of the emergency response team.
I am Eagle Scout John Mark Katamko from Pagana National School, Cebu Council. I choose to join the Emergency Service Corps to explore more about basic and advanced life-saving skills, to understand deeply the structures of the disaster risk reduction management, and to serve for a greater purpose. Being a member of the Emergency Service Corps opens a lot of opportunity in the field of service. Through the ESC, I was inspired and be able to work with the other organization with the same goal, to serve the country and humanity. I was able to share my knowledge to the other scout and influence them to be one of us. ESC also builds a strong bond of friendship through its activities that will test the individual, body, and group capability. In fact, I have with me my buddy Eagle Scout, Michael John Tabuada, on every training, hardship, and even on opening new doors in volunteerism. Together, we joined the Base Camp Emergency Response Team, summoned this fire brigade, became a licensed Class C amateur radio holder, and undergo training with blood and sweat in the Philippine Air Force Reserve. As we always say, body, walang iwanan.
I have 3 reasons why I joined BCERT, or Base Camp Emergency Response Team. First is that I want to learn the different kinds of survival skills. Second is that I want to help other people, especially my family, when it comes to disasters or any kind of incidents. And the last reason is that I want to feel how hard the life of being a responder.
Why I joined BCERT? Simply because I want to engage myself in volunteerism. I want to enhance my skills, my leadership skills, communication skills, and social in terms of emergencies, calamities, disasters, or any unfortunate events in helping other people in our country and in our place. Also, I joined BCERT simply because it's free. I don't need monthly dues, we don't pay membership fees, but in return, they only ask is our commitment and dedication.
I joined BCERT because I found BCERT unique. Unique in a way that they don't let emotions fool them, but with the help of science and skills, it makes BCERT what it is right now. Also, I want to extend my volunteerism. I want to help people, not only the youth of Cebu City, but also the people who need my help and need the BCERT's help. I am Metziela Signor, a member of BCERT Junior Responders Alpha Team.
I am Christopher James Adorna, BCERT Junior Responders, Bravo Team.
I'm Shailene G. Garciano, BCERT Junior Responder, Alpha Team.
For humanity and country, we serve.
Okay, thank you very much for playing the video. And I'm open to any questions. If you have any questions, I'm willing to answer it.
Thank you, Sir Joseph Inosante, for a wonderful talk. The open forum is now open. 10 minutes will be allotted for the open forum. Please keep your questions brief and concise so that everyone will be given the chance to ask. Any participant who would like to raise any questions or concerns, please raise your hand in Zoom. You may also message down your question in the Zoom chat box. Or if you are watching via Facebook Live, you may comment down your questions and our team will forward it to the speaker. You may now ask your questions.
So, feel free to ask any questions and I'll be more than willing to respond on it. So if you're not comfortable asking here, you can email us or send us a chat and we can answer it right away. We have an admin team that could answer right away. Again, if you're not comfortable asking questions here live, you may ask us by sending an email or chat us on our Facebook account. Or me personally, I'll be very glad to assist. Again, we are opening our doors to help any schools in forming their own ESC. I hope I was able to inspire you guys, especially the teachers, the outfit advisors, the scout masters, and also the scouts. We in the front lines, it's really hard because we don't really know what will happen next. I hope that this webinar gave you a good glimpse about the importance of the scouting organization, especially in this pandemic. It's a global issue, and in our own simple ways as Filipinos, we could give back and serve our country, setting aside our ideology in politics, religion, and other issues in life or social politics. Let's be part of the solution. And the scouting unit is the prime. I'm a product of it. As a co-founder of Basecamp Emergency Response Team, and now I'm able to work with some of the best rescue organizations in the world. And I'm here, willing to give back in spite of lack of resources, short of fundings. We're willing to help you in our own simple ways. We are willing to donate equipment. We're willing to donate medical supplies, and train you, and get some of the best resource you can get from other countries. Once again, my name is Joseph Luis Inosante from Basecamp Emergency Response Team. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day to you, to all the scouts around the Philippines and around the globe. Thank you.
Sir, we have a question.
Oh yes, finally.
What can we scouts who are minors do at home to help our frontliners save lives?
Oh, that's a very good question. As what I said earlier, one is information dissemination. That's one. And also stay at home. If you are not so sure that you want to go on the front lines, you don't want to go out, stay at home, be safe, be healthy. But there are some scouts out there, and I know a lot that are doing fundraisings to support the front lines. They fabricate PPE, face shields, they donate masks, alcohol, relief supplies, in their own simple ways. That's the best thing you can do, scouts, is share some of your sources. You don't need to spend. You don't need to ask money from your parents to someone. Just be informed, inspire other people, educate other people, and also just be there, because your support is like it's like a motivation on us. If you see someone doing good job in the front lines, commend them. Any group, anyone. It's really normal that there are some people that are very hard to please. They will, as a scout, what are you doing there? You're trying to kill yourself because it's risky. You might have the virus. Don't be a hero. Again, we don't need to have a validation from other people to be a hero. Because in the eyes of our family and God, we are already a hero. We are doing our part with all good things. So we don't need any valid scouts. Remember that one. Always be there for the front lines by showing your support.
We have another question.
Yes?
How do you live out the scout saying, "On my honor, I do my best," as a frontliner?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. First is always have fear. Always think that what we're doing right now is really, really dangerous or risky. Be obedient. Always respect protocols and do not use emotions. Always have science on your mind because this is a virus. You are in the front lines. You need to protect yourself all the time. Like me, I'm very strict with the team. If I say we need to have double gloving, we need to have double masking, we need to have a coverall, face shield, we need to follow it. I don't have any problem with my discussion of the scouts that's working right now. They do follow protocols strictly and they avoid having clashes with other frontliners. So that's one of the things that the scouts can do.
Last question. What point of the scout law, in your opinion, is the most relevant for all scouts now in the pandemic situation?
Scout law, okay. There's a lot. One is to do your duty to God in our country, and I don't know what to say, but there's a lot. There's a lot that we could do as frontliners. I haven't think that one yet. Being helpful, that's what I said, to God and to your country. You need to be helpful. I came from a family of people that are generous. My parents is always there to help other people. You need to be obedient, that's one. You need to respect what the elders are telling you. You need to be respectful of the government. That's why in my team, I don't want my volunteers ranting on politics or social media because it will not help. We have different political opinions. So be obedient, follow orders, that's one. And always have fear. Fear on God. Always pray. Every time we go on the field, we always pray as a team. And also be kind. Be humble and kind. That's all. Because if you don't have that sense of humility, as what Francis said, this volunteerism and scouting is not a source of fueling your ego. You need to be humble and kind in order to serve others. Because if you have this kind of ego, it's really hard to serve others. Because in this world, life is so cruel, especially this pandemic. You see people, they don't have anything on their table. They don't have food. They don't have any income. You need to be kind enough to understand the situation. Because if we always blame them, blame the government, it will not help. That's one of the things I'm trying to inculcate to the scouts. Please be humble and kind.
Thank you, sir. Now I close the open forum. We thank you very much for sharing your time with us in this webinar, most especially to our resource speaker, Sir Joseph Inosante. On behalf of the e-Scouting PH team, we would like to present this humble token of our appreciation to our resource speaker. Here is your certificate, sir. Once again, thank you so much, Sir Joseph Inosante. We would also like to take this opportunity to thank our viewers. Your online certificates will be released after the online closing program on July 21st, 2020. We would like to reaffirm that only registered participants will receive a certificate. Therefore, we encourage everybody to register at bit.ly/capital S saving capital L lives, capital P, capital H. Before closing this webinar talk, we have a few announcements from our end. 1. We will be having our 5th Scouts webinar closing ceremony later at 5 in the afternoon. 2. You may join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday for our Scouts Angelus, and every Friday for our Scouts Rosary. That's all for our announcements. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. We hope that you have learned a lot and enjoyed a whole lot more for the 5th Scouts webinar. This has been your host, Senior Girl Scout Kate Paul. And for all of us here in eScouting PH, thank you and good afternoon. Let us remember that as Scouts, we continue to serve our community and our country, even from our homes. Let us remember that by keeping ourselves and our families safe, we are doing a big favor to the community. Above all, let us remember to always ask for the guidance and protection of our great Scoutmaster above. Let us continue to always bring the joys of Scouting in our hearts, wherever we are. Mabuhay ang Scouting worldwide. Stay safe, stay smiling, Scout on.